Erik. Erik. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Erik? Are you there? Harry Houdini. Are you still with us? All right. That's a good man. My name is Dr. Andrew Michaels. Yes. How are you? Good to see you're still among the living. Happy Halloween. Yes. Yeah, you're going to make it. You're going to survive. Don't worry, we gave you some medicine, a couple of injections, and some oral treatment that you swallowed, and it should help clear up that infection. You're not going to die from an appendicitis tonight, sir. Well, there's always a catch, isn't there? As I said, my name is Dr. Andrew Michaels, and I work for the Department of the Navy, Special Missions, and I was sent to ask for your help. Your government needs your assistance, sir. And in return, we will pay you for your time, and we will return you to your family when we're done. You are currently in something I think you can understand. It's a time bubble. Yes. You're not in normal time and space. You're kind of in the ether, if you will. I know you don't believe in spiritualism and what mediums teach. This isn't that kind of other world, other dimension. You're kind of like in a limbo. Something you might more understand from your religious background. Limbo, not really alive, not really dead. We can reach out and touch each other, but we're really not in the material world. Does that make sense? I came back in time from 1948 to meet you, to administer medications to you, and to ask for your assistance. I used a device that was given to us by our allies in the future, an alien group that wishes to aid us in stopping a cult. Now, you're quite familiar with some of the members of this cult because they go by aliases and they go around pretending to be spiritualists and mediums and speak with the dead. They're trying to recruit people to their cult. They're trying to make profit off of people's suffering and misery. I need help identifying and locating some of these people. And we also need your special skill set to help us get more information on them, as you would say. Are you interested in this? Well, what we will pay you is not truly a monetary amount of money. You see, on October 31st, 1926, Mr. Houdini, you died. And your dead body is in a hospital bed right now, waiting to be discovered by a nurse. What you have before you is your body being preserved in that moment in time. We can extend your life to a certain degree. And if you will, do you see this? This bubble? This bubble? Inside that bubble is the scientist, engineer, Nikola Tesla. And right now, he's in the year 1922, or maybe 1923. It was a perfect year for him. He found a pet pigeon that he loved, and it was his most happiest time of his life. And he's living in that time, in that little tiny bubble, just like a soap bubble. Yes, like you find when you're washing up. And as we know, soap bubbles don't last forever. Eventually it will break. But in his mind, in his existence, he didn't really die yet. He's living an infinite number of days in that bubble, an infinite number of mornings, afternoons, and on with his pet bird in the most happiest time of his life. And it just goes on and on. And we can keep him there for quite a long time. Eventually he will go on to the next life. But for his reward in this life, in this time, we give that to him. And we can do the same for you, Mr. Houdini, Erik Weisz. But you don't want to go back to 1926, do you? We both know when and where you want to go. That's right. You want to go back to 1907, to the prime of your life. There's Bess and there's your mom, your dearest mother. And what's it say on that? My two sweethearts. Your wife looks thrilled. Don't feel bad. I know what you mean. Of course, it would be my mother-in-law, not my mother. We could never do without her in the picture. My wife wouldn't know what to do without her. But we do love our parents, don't we? Your mother was a fine, fine lady. And I know she worked very hard to give you everything and to help you get a good start. And you had such a wonderful wife. We could take you back to this time. And you could live an infinite amount of days there. And you'll know that you're in a loop. You'll know where you're at. And you'll know that this is an existence outside of normal space and time. But nobody else will. You'll be aware. And one day when you go to sleep, the bubble will break. And you'll go off into the next life. But in the meantime, you can relive these moments over and over again as long as you'd like. And it's going to be real. It's just a segment of time trapped inside a bubble. Just like this one with Tesla. And it doesn't violate your religion. And it won't harm anyone. You can even tell your wife about it and your mother. The next day they'll wake up and not remember what you said. But you can go back. We just need your help. You're a very, very valuable man right now. Okay. What do we need your help with? Well, we know you weren't just going around starting magician clubs all over the United States and Europe to popularize yourself. You were the #1 vaudevillian act in the country at the time. Why were you wasting your time building all of these magicians clubs and networking and connecting them all and making sure all of them had access to a hotline to weed out frauds and charlatans? I have a contract for you to sign too if you are willing to go forward. Let me ask you this. Were you building those groups for your own selfish popularity and to ensure your popularity? Or were you building those groups for another reason? To ferret out spiritualists and fake mediums all over the United States and in Europe, to stop them from spreading the Cult of Cthulhu? Yes, I know. I know because I've been spending a lot of time dismantling that group. said this before, but contrary to popular belief, the United States government does not care for the Cult of Cthulhu flourishing in the United States of America or in Western Europe, among other places. We need your help in identifying some spiritualists because they go by aliases so often we lose track of them. And we need to know their whereabouts. And I also need some other help, which I'll tell you about in a moment. Do you remember these two fellows right here? And this one? That's right. Yes, I thought you knew who they were. Okay. This won't take long. And do you know this couple? Her? Do you know her other name? Yes. Okay, check that off. And him. Yes. And you know where they live? Yes. Thank you. And this fine young lady, do you know who she is? Who she really is? That's right. Do you know the last time you knew where her location was? Yes. Yes, Paris. I'm going to go see this young lady myself personally. I'm going to see that she is brought on charges for what she's done. Thank you. You have my word on that. And do you know these sisters? We were wrong about that one. And of course, if you know her, then you must have records on this lady. Wonderful. We were wrong. We had the wrong names and wrong addresses and everything for these ladies. And of course, their other sister. Yes. And this one as well. This one and this one. Okay. I would appreciate seeing your notes on this. We can take you to your home. Oh, okay. Well, we can take you to where you stored your notes, and we can iron this out with these people. And we believe this lady is dead, but if she's not, do you know the whereabouts of this lady? And do you know who gave her that brooch? Get up there where you can see it. Mm-hmm. You believe she's still alive? That's interesting. I'll have to write that down. Write it down here. And she worked with, well, that was my next picture. This gentleman. Okay. Okay. Of course. I totally understand, sir. And you believe she got the locket from this gentleman right here. Okay. Yes. Very interesting. All right. And I have just one more photo. Oh, two more. Do you know these two ladies? Right here. Her? Okay. Do you know their ages? Do you know their country of origin? the last one. This man. Okay. And okay. I'll have to write that down. Basically, you're verifying the information I already have. Okay. This man. Yes. It's a wonderful drawing on the back. Has some meaning, doesn't it? Well, when you're dealing with cultists, you have to look for the hidden messages sometimes in the medium that they use. I like the coin spilling from the cornucopia myself. You see that? Interesting concept. I also like the Northern Hemisphere. Conquering that first, I see. It's hard to explain to people who don't know about the firmament and the ether and the world in between. And I understand how fake spiritualists could anger you so much. You've done some fine work, sir. You should be proud of what you've done. Your magician group will help stop spiritualism and alienate fake mediums for generations after you're gone. You may have died in physical body on October 31st, 1926, but your legacy carries well 100 years into the future what you've set up today. And for that, that's immortality on a grand scale, sir. No matter what I offer you, you truly have achieved a form of immortality that any other man would only dream of. I do understand. I think that's it for the photographs. I'm sorry that I've drug you out of your bed, but I'm sure you're feeling better. Could I ask you to take a look at something else? It's stored inside here. Now this is going to be a mission, sir. And I have to put on gloves to protect myself. The Cult of Cthulhu is not to be trifled with. I was warned by several insiders. They have a leak within their group. I know you discovered several yourself, and your information is quite important to us. Okay. The last thing I need to show you is, do you remember who this man is? Yes, he's a banker in southern France, and he's been financing some of these groups all over the United States and in Europe. And what I have inside this box, this small pill box, I have a key to one of his safety deposit boxes. Now, we've tried every avenue, every means to try to get into his bank and get the contents of this safety deposit box. And we've been foiled for 6 months now. What I need is I need you to plan and execute a rather simple bank robbery using this key. Now, this key will allow you to open up that safety deposit box. And the reason I'm not touching it with my bare hands is this key is encoded. If you touch it with your skin, it will kill you. It will poison you. And you know all about that, don't you? You know how these spiritualists work. Because they try to poison you. If you're willing to take this key to southern France, we'll go along with you to help and plan the robbery. I will grant you a time bubble nirvana back to 1907. And you can live out that time if you'd like. All we ask in return is for you to open up that safety deposit box and give us the contents. You're welcome to review the contents yourself, because I know it would further your own research. And you can help me stop the Cult of Cthulhu. Do we have an agreement, sir? One simple little robbery. A bank. From a magician and a locksmith of your nature, this should be the easiest of tasks. Very good. And sir, I believe we have a deal. Yes. Thank you, Mr. Houdini. We'll see you soon in southern France.